Good morning, 97.1. Jim Costa, John Jansen, Heather Park, Govin, Greg behind the glass. We'll talk Pistons as the hour wraps. We got a Lions schedule out. And John, I have them going 11-6.
Okay. I'm not going to give you...
I don't want you to give yours yet.
No.
But I just wanted to get the early reaction to the schedule. We knew the opponents, but you see how it lays out. There's a soft runway. They're going to end the year with some big primetime and division games and road games. They get that crunch around Thanksgiving where they don't get the bye. It comes early this season. What were some things that stood out to you?
Oh, I instantly looked at the end of the schedule. And it is 3 division opponents in 4 weeks. Now, I think that's kind of awesome, but all 3 of those are on the road. I'm not a fan of having that type of, I don't want to say disadvantage, because if you're a good team, it shouldn't matter. If you're better than Minnesota, it shouldn't matter. Right. If you're better than Chicago, Green Bay, but I do think at that time of the year, it's a big deal to have that type of schedule ending the season.
And you will have been playing for how many consecutive weeks, again, with the early bye?
With the early bye, right. And I know Tom's got something to add to this. It is the Germany trip to New England, and then 7 days later, you turn around and you play Tampa, and then 4 days later, you turn around and play Chicago. So you've got an international trip, which I would probably pick out something that I don't like about the schedule, give or take, after the international trip, just simply because I despise the international games. I love the 9:30 start on Sunday morning. I absolutely love it. I get to watch football at 9:30, 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and 8 o'clock. It's amazing. But as a former player, I would hate the travel and the fact that you're staying somewhere else. That's part of it. And I know that, what's the flight to Germany?
How many hours?
6
It's like
hours?
8 hours.
8 hours? Okay. That's not debilitating by any means. Or if you're going over to London, if you're on the East Coast, I know Jacksonville does it all the time. That's not debilitating. It's the fact that you're there so long. Mm-hmm. So those are some of the things that start off with. I mean, you get a free space to start off with New Orleans. I know you have them struggling more than...
It's just a little slow start with some of their receivers, but Lions pull away and take care of business.
Okay.
Look, the fact that the Lions don't get a bye after the international travel sucks. The Patriots have a bye week the week after. Why not Detroit? Which would then get them set to then prepare for Thanksgiving.
Right.
Tom, you said we're missing something with this.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily know if you'll like it, but I think it's pretty obvious why they didn't get a bye. They weren't going to give the Lions a 10-day rest going into Thanksgiving when the Bears come in with 4 days rest. They weren't.
But you understand how bye weeks work, right? That
Yes.
whenever the bye happens, that team will have an advantage the next week. So why give the Lions any byes?
Well, because everybody gets a bye, Jim.
No, I know. That's my point. So then you just deal with it. Like I could bitch about, well, this team's coming off the Bucs are coming off a bye when they play the Lions.
You imagine
that doesn't seem fair.
Imagine being in imagine being in the Bears' shoes though, and you're on a short week and you got to go on the road on a holiday against a divisional opponent, and they're sitting there with 10 days rest. That's my point.
Well, and part of why they didn't do it either is, now I think they should have had the international game at a different part of the schedule, because if you have a bye after the international game, the Lions would have 10 days between New England and Chicago. They would also have 10 days between Chicago and Atlanta.
Yes.
So it would, in essence, be almost two
byes.
Yeah.
Now, what they should have done is given the Bears a bye too that same week.
Well, that's the
they
other
should
solution.
bake it in backwards,
Yes.
the international games that you get a bye after them, and then build the schedule from there.
Yeah. I think that makes sense. If they would have done that, they didn't. What did you like? What didn't you like? And we want to know about record predictions. I know it's silly. It's why I had some fun with mine.
I'll say this. I believe it's unprecedented that you close with 3 out of 4 road division games. Look, I can't do the research on something like that.
I
if
actually
that's
saw
happened
somebody
before.
else did the research, so I'll just kind of copy and paste and help us out here. Because it is rare, but I believe it has happened before, Tom. But let me dig it up. What were you saying?
3 out of 4 division road games to end the season. Since we've had the 4 division format that started in 2002.
Al Karsten, he's He's a Pride of Detroit guy. He points out that in 2021, the Washington Commanders, at the time Washington football team, had 3 road division games over the final 4 weeks of the season. Lions are the first team since the 21 Washington team to do this.
Yeah, and I mean, no schedule is going to be perfect. Like we could create a schedule as Tom did. By the way, tip of the cap, 6 of them right.
Yeah.
Wow.
And if you flip-flop the Packer home and road, if we gave you that, you'd have 8 of them.
That's crazy. That'd be half. I did have help by knowing 2 in advance.
Right, yeah. But the 2 Grand Slam judges said,
only 6.
It does matter. Only 6.
League-wide, this phenomenon, 3 of the last 4 games being these road division games, league-wide, it's happened 21 times in the last 6 seasons. So, 14%. Whatever. Not to get caught up in it.
Yeah.
Let's get some... Moving on. Text from some of you guys on this. Lions will be 13-4. One pride, baby. Tesla has a breakout season. That's Josh at work. Cookies, I love you, but you sound crazy as hell. 15-2. Hashtag play the song. Jameel and Windsor.
Yeah, baby. 15-2.
Going through the schedule and predicting wins and losses is one thing, but actually making comments on what's going to happen is absolutely ludicrous.
Well, it was us basically buying into the absurdity of doing the win-loss game.
On May 15th.
Right.
Costa's inner rabid fanboy takes over when he sees that schedule in Honolulu blue. The glazing is just a secondary symptom.
Oh, boy.
You think 11 wins is glazing?
No.
Their win total, I believe, is set at 10.5.
Oh, so you're going over?
Yeah, I have them over.
Okay.
And honestly, I think they're closer to 12 wins than 10. Like what stood out to me is we already knew this. They're going to play the Saints, Jets, Cardinals, Dolphins, and Titans. It's the last place schedule, and we saw the Bears, Patriots, and Jags all be propelled by last place schedules. Even if you're not wowed by the Lions offseason, a 9-win team from a year ago that's going to play a bunch of lowly football teams, you should bump it up a couple wins, I would think. And then depending on how the O-line gels and what the secondary looks like and the overall defensive play at the end of the season, yeah, they could win 12 or more. But as I sit today, as I've navigated the schedule, I had 11.
And I am curious for those that pick a game to go to every year. Now, obviously, you're playing. If you're going to go to a division opponent, those are always going to be year in, year out, some of the closest games that you go to. But there's no Cleveland. There's no Indianapolis. There's no Pittsburgh. Like, what is the road game that people are thinking of going to? Because there's great intrigue about maybe going to Buffalo.
Yeah, but
first game in that stadium, but ticket prices are going to be through the roof.
Yeah, if you want to talk about things you like and don't like about the schedule, I hate that their most marquee road game is a Thursday night where you're going to price out a lot of people that have to miss work and pay a premium.
Right.
And the best home game that's not one of the division games
is in Germany.
It's the Patriots. It's in Germany. So I don't like that from a fan standpoint. I don't know if that matters from a win-loss standpoint, but from a fan standpoint, I don't like that.
Well, but if you take out the division games, the road division games, if you want to go see a non-division opponent on the road, your choices are Atlanta, Miami, Arizona, Carolina, or Buffalo.
Right.
And there's just no close drive-to game. Last year it was Cincinnati.
Yeah, I was talking to a friend who him and his dad are going to do Atlanta. Indoors late in the season, cheap concessions, should be a win.
Was that JP?
JP.
Jimmy Powers?
No, it's not Jimmy Powers. He'll probably go to that game. No, I got a friend, him and his dad, they pick one road game every season. I think it's a cool thing they do.
I think so too.
And I think, like, to the point, John, like,
tell me to go to South Beach.
Where should they pick? Miami? I think they've done Miami too. And there's nothing fun about that game, right?
No.
You've talked about it. The stadium's not cool. The team's not very good on the other side.
If I was going to throw my hat in the ring and say go to a road game, I would probably say at Carolina.
Sunday Night Football.
Right. It's Sunday Night Football. It is a good stadium. I'm not going to sit there and say it's one of the best stadiums. The problem might be it is Sunday night. It's going to still be a little bit hot down there.
Yeah.
But that's a good road trip to go to. So if I'm throwing my hat in the ring as a suggestion and you don't want to go to Buffalo because of the prices, I'd say at Carolina.
Okay. Look, there's a lot to digest, and we're giving you guys the space to do it. Call in, text in, 248-539-9797. Want to know, as ridiculous as it is, what your win-loss prediction is for this team and what you like and don't like. The games you want to go to on the road and at home from this Lions schedule.
And you'll get mine at 7:18.
7:18, John plays the schedule game. It's 97.1.